Hey everybody, I found these little lights at Lowe's, and I'll take a picture of them at the end, but right now I have them taped up, and I have a full charge on my battery, so yes, I'm crafting, and the storm's going to hit us in about 2 hours, and I already recorded the part where I colored the little reindeer. And what I used for the circles is I used this 3-inch scallop circle punch, and I also used this 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and then just layered them up. That way I used a 2 1/2 inch as well. That way I had the different layers, and then I just glued Rudolph down with my art glitter glue. I didn't really think I would be able to do any videos, so I'm kind of tickled that at least I can continue to craft a little and keep my mind occupied and all that stuff. And so I'll just put my 2 here, and then my from, like that. So it's lined up as good as I can get it. Get my VersaFine Onyx black ink. And now I'm going to stamp my 2 and from, like that. Look, I can't believe I'm able to do this in the middle of a hurricane. It does not take a lot, folks. And the cool thing about these lights is they're LED lights. My daughter and I found them at Lowe's, and they can charge on a battery, or you can replace the batteries. And I mean, you can shift. I don't know if you'll be able to see if I can shift the lights so that I get the best light on my spot here. And what I did was I just scored this down and, you know, creased it with my bone folder. And then I'm going to come up here, peel off my little things here, and then I'll line it all up. Oops, bent my little loop, didn't I? Hang on, I'm having more trouble lining it up than I did figuring it out. Okay. Let me make sure I get the tops. If I get the tops, the rest will work out on its own. Just trying to figure out, yeah, I think I want it like that. And there you go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of double stick tape. Now what I have here is just the 1/4 inch. But I have thicker stuff, so I'm going to put it there so that it has, I may even put a piece of pop tape, you know, dimensional, so that it has a little room for when it flips up. And then you write that on there, and then that goes on your tag. What do you think? I'm so tickled. Look at that, I love it. God is so good. He's so cool. I'm amazed at the things that the Lord has enabled people to make. I mean, I never would have thought to make something like this, or something like this, or, you know, God has just blessed people with such extreme intelligence, and I'm so thankful they're using it for the crafting world. And I got something sticky there. And if you hear that little, that's Mariah. She's got a little wind-up flashlight, so that at no time is she ever in the dark. All right, folks, that's it. I just wanted to share this with you. This is one of my tags for September of 2017, and it goes like that. I hope you guys like it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for visiting me today. Remember to practice your CPR, craft, pray, repeat. Bye. Okay, everybody, I'm going to show you how I colored up the little red-nosed reindeer, and I will make sure that I put a link in the description box where you can find this image. And they do have it already colored for those of you who don't color, or just want to make some really quick and easy tags. And I will try to do that. I will try to print out some of the colored images and then come back and show you, how quickly and easily you can put together what, they've already colored up and got started for you. It's like when you kind of start with a tag already and you just jazz it up. Well, that's what this would be like. And now here I'm just showing you how I colored it, but I will come back and do the other video in the next few days so that you guys can see, for those of you who don't color, that there are lots of other options out there for you. And but here now I use the E30 family for the entire reindeer, and I love how it turned out. But I did 3 of them, and I did the E30 family, then I did another one using strictly the E50 family, and then the third one I mixed the E50 and the E40 family together. So whichever browns that you have, there's really nothing special you have to have. You can use any of your browns to color him, and he will turn out looking just absolutely adorable. I mean, really, could Rudolph be anything but adorable? I mean, really. Guys, you have no idea how much I love Christmas. And this is just getting ready now. And it's like, I don't like surprises. I hate surprises. I'd much rather know now that something is coming and be excited that I'm getting it, and then be really excited when I actually get it. My husband does not think like me. He thinks surprises are the bomb diggity. I hate them. So this is like, that's what this is like for me. I get to be excited knowing that I'm preparing for Christmas, and then I get to be excited when Christmas gets here. So it's just like a win-win situation here, and I love it. And so here I'm just finishing. I'm sorry, I'm talking. I'm finishing up the face. Now I wanted the face a little lighter. I didn't want it too light because I didn't want it to be a stark contrast, but just light enough that you could tell there was a difference between the 2 areas. Now when we get to the little holly and berries and things like that, I only use 2 colors for the leaves and 1 for the berries because it is such a tiny area. So any red that you have, you really wouldn't have to have some fantastic red combination. Any red that you have would work for your berries and your little nose. And the same with the holly, any greens. You don't have to have the exact ones that I use, because I know that not everybody, well, including me, does not have the entire Copic collection. And so what I'm doing here, I'm hoping, is showing you how I do it, but giving you, kind of a base, and then you build with what you have. That's what I'm hoping to succeed here, or get across in this one, I mean. Or in all my videos, is, you don't have to have what I have. This is my idea. You take my idea, you build it, you run with it, and you make it better. And I know there are a lot of talented ladies out there who all they have to do is see something and they can turn it into something incredible. And that's what I hope happens with the things you see in my videos. And so I just finished up my green, And now I'm moving on to the inside to put the pinks on his little ears. I want to say her, but he's Rudolph. Rudolph is a boy. Clarice is the girl. I got to keep this straight in my little brain. And just coloring in his little pink tongue there. And now the antlers, again, I only used 2 colors. I wanted them to be much lighter than the deer. And if you've ever seen an actual deer, you know that their antlers are much lighter. And so I only used 2 colors because I didn't want to risk getting them too dark. And here I'm just going over the lighter colors and lightening it up just a little bit more with my lightest E30. And then I'm using my gold gel pen for the bells. And I mean, you could have colored them with one of the YGs, or YR. Oopsie, one of the YRs or one of the Ys. But it just made it easier for me, and I like it that way because I like the metallic look. And here I am using my GLAZE pens, which you know I am like absolutely, completely, and totally addicted to, and can't make something without them. And now here is my EK Tools writing pen, and I'm just outlining the entire image because I am going to cut right up next to it. So I want to make sure that, it looks as crisp and as dark as possible, and that if the outside is crisp, I want the inside of the image to match up. So anytime you color it and go over it, you're lightening it up. So in my little brain, this says that this makes it all cohesive and match again. And now I did do the next, this, I forgot what they're called. Ain't that awful? This tag. There you go. I knew it'd come to me. This tag and the one I showed you at the beginning, I do a little different. The first one that I showed you at the beginning of this video flips up. This one I used a brad and it spins so that you can see the to and from real easily. And it just, I don't know, I just thought it would be more, kind of fun. I just want them to be fun. I don't know, this sounds so silly, but because I'm so far away from my family, and that's who these are all going to, is my sisters and my nieces and my nephews and my great niece and my great nephews, is that I just want it to be fun, and I want them to say, yep, that's Aunt Sherry. She'd make something a little different, Heaven forbid Aunt Sherry go with the norm, because I always try when I'm with them to make time special for them. And so this is kind of my way of making Christmas special too, and making it not just the same old, same old. So I'm just using my Recollections detail scissors, and I'm trimming him out. And he was real easy to trim out. Now the little lines around his nose, I did not cut around that. I just went without them. And then one, you can see that I actually used a Copic multi-liner, and I just draw them back in on the image once I get it glued down, because there was no sense in trying to cut out around those little things, because you can always put them in afterwards. Those are just an added thing. And I think I did it on one, and I don't even know if I did it on the other ones. But either way, it's still cute, and you can add them if you want. But again, it's not necessary, because the image is so adorable that no matter what you do with him, he's gonna be cute. Ah, I love this holiday. I love Christmas, and can hardly wait. And here I am just going over with the edges with my Memento dual tip marker, so that you can't tell where I might have messed up and flubbed up a little bit on my cutting. And that really does, in my opinion, make it just such a completely different look. I can't explain it enough. Now here I am, I'm just showing you how I used the punches that I did to make the tag, and I used the 3-inch scallop. the 2 1/4 inch circle, and then I layer that around it to get an even image. Now here I go with the 2 1/4, and then I go around it again to try to make it as even as possible. And then I just layer everything up. And I use my art glitter glue to glue everything together. And see, I just brought my one back in so I could try to reference it to keep it. I wanted it to be as close as possible to each other, but I still just couldn't help myself. I had to, you know, do a little different. And that's the one on the right there is the one that lifts up. And then this one is the one that's going to spin with the brad. And then there's another one that I use. And the brad, oh, I cut off his little foot. I still feel bad about that. But I didn't want him hanging out the edge. I feel inhumane. I'm sorry. I was trying to avoid that part, but I looked up just as I clipped his little leg off. I'm a horrible human being. We'll move on. Please forgive me for being such a monster. I just put my to and from down. Use my VersaFine Onyx Black. And there's, if you look up to the top, center, a little over to the, well, almost center, you'll see the red brad that I'm going to use. And that's it. I just use my piercer, poke it in, and call it done. And I love them. See? Woohoo! And there they all are. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below letting me know what you think. And remember to practice your CPR, craft, pray, repeat. Thanks for visiting me today, and happy crafting. Bye.